2, we're going to be looking for our very first group. RJ, please, give it a little stir, make sure that everybody knows that this is done officially. And our very first team is about to be drawn.
For Group A,
and here we have it. For Group A, our very first team is Ultra Legends from MENA.
they went 5 games against the favored Team Falcons then, and I can almost remember like it was just yesterday, the glorious call on the English broadcast of MPL MENA. 5 randoms make history. At this point, they're no longer randoms, man. They are the first draw for the MSC group stage draw. They're going into Group A.
I mean, we've come to realize that this team is looking to be a potential contender here, but now it is time for our second team. They will be drawn in towards Group B. RJ, you know what to do. Give it a bit of a stir here, please. We don't want the internet on our backs just yet.
Totally random. There's still a handful of teams left.
Plenty.
Again, fans from all over the world waiting with bated breath.
Here we go. He's cracked it open. It is going to be Team Flash representing Singapore going to Group B.
Last year, they went deep. Top 4 they finished. And again, the world did not expect them to beat even then their first matchup in the top 8. It was a very close match. They went all the way, and now they're going into Group B.
The only team knocking them out was the eventual champions last year, SRG. But with that being said, this already, sets a high bar for both sides of Group A and as well as Group B. But I think everybody's excited to know how this is going to start rounding out. Let us now draw another team from C2. Now, this is where it starts to get a little nerve-wracking. We still have plenty of options. DFYG, Aurora Gaming, CFU, Corinthians, and as well as Area 77.
Not to mention the recently crowned Wildcard winner, Virtus Pro. They're somewhere in there.
They're somewhere in there. Here we go. Let's crack this open. Bad boy open. Oh, man. This could be anybody. And it looks to be all the way. CFU Gaming is going to be joining Group A.
Can I get a "oh my mouth" for all the Kamai fans? They play a very specific brand of MLBB, possibly one of the most aggressive teams in all of MLBB eSports. Hey, they put former MSC champions SRG at the brink of elimination in the last group stage of the M6 World Championships.
For a year and a half, this team has continued to grow and show that as an organization, they are a powerhouse in the MLBB space. That being said, though, we still need to draw some more teams. Let's see who else is going to be joining the likes of Group B alongside Team Flash.
I still can't believe how calm RJ is. Again, the tournament as it is stands in his hands.
In his fingers. And it looks like we have another team. DFYG will be joining the likes of Team Flash in Group B.
Yanfeng Yaoguai, arguably one of the first teams to make it out of the Chinese MLBB ecosystem, introducing their own brand of MLBB eSports. They will be the second team in Group B. Some big names coming out of the squad. KLVJ. Even their coaching staff is prolific.
Yep, one of the Kages leading the way. Again, their name literally directly translates to monsters at the peak. We're going to see whether or not they can shake up Group B. With that being said, let's go for another draw here. We'll see, because now we're really starting to see these groups start to shape up and really tell us what the landscape is like for Group A and Group B.
All right, we're down to the last 4, halfway through Seed 2. We got RJ.
Oh, we have our recent winners of the wildcards from EECA, Virtus Pro, joining Group A.
Some breakout stars out of EECA's arguably second best team. Even that, I'd like to argue. The Nightmare Andoryu, Bober. I'm a big fan of Bober.
How can you not be a big fan of this team with their performance in the wildcards, and not to mention the fact that Virtus Pro saw them as a shining beacon throughout the wildcards, and most of us counting them out.
I'll have to tell you now, I said it back then in the broadcast that elapsed just, 30 minutes ago. I'm a believer in Virtus Pro.
With that being said, 3 teams now remain. Let's have a bit of a shuffle here. Let's see. We still have a couple of options left and a couple of names which I'm worried about depending on which side they're going.
Still somewhere in there. The teams from Turkey, the teams from North America, and of course, Latam's finest. Who is this?
it looks like North America, Area 77 will be joining this group. Ooh, boy, this is starting to look a little interesting here. Now, most people are going to start thinking of C2 teams as like, you know, they should be fodder, but there's a very good chance that upsets will occur with the current format that we have. Group B starting to look a little stacked.
Again, this is a squad made up of young individuals. Some of them have had experience in leagues such as MPL Philippines. So I don't doubt that Area 77 with the chip on their shoulders might go the distance.
Now, for our final two teams, let us make the draw here. There's only two potential options. A representatives coming in from Turkey or a representatives coming from LATAM.
Group A will be finding...
Who's it going to be? It's Corinthian eSports representing LATAM. This is going to be an interesting group, dude. I don't know. What are you feeling like right now? Group A, Group B?
They went all the way in their grand finals, and I'd like to see my boy Luis crawl out of the group stage and finally bring glory back to LATAM.
Which only means that there is one team left to join the likes of Group B. Of course, I mean, I'm excited to see how Group A is going to pan out. Of course, I'm assuming that because Corinthians is part of Group A, that's going to be where you're leaning to, Leo.
I would love to agree with you, but no, the team that was remaining in C2 is another team that you must watch. I think we're going to draw this for formality, but we all know what's remaining. It's a superpower out of Turkey. Again, I think this is the strongest they've ever been. They took the remnants of two of the best teams out of Turkey and have formed a super team.
RJ, could you please, just for formality, let everybody know who's going to be joining to finish off Seed 2. Give it up for this team. A superpower, as Leo has mentioned, and representing Turkey this time round, it is going to be Aurora Gaming. Keep in mind, all of these squads, all of these organizations are still looking to get as many club points as possible here at the Esports World Cup.
Recently celebrating their birthday was their mid laner Rosa, and of course joining them now, finally completing the duo of roamer and gold laner is Sigiboom, the Turkish trigger man, joining his brother Apex 47. I'm definitely looking forward to how Aurora Gaming will be performing in the group stage.
Now, the moment that everybody has been waiting for. The teams, the champions of their own individual regions, powerhouses in their own right, and also their following runner-ups. RJ, could you please draw from Seed 1? Now, this is where I'm nervous, man. This could make or break a group almost straight away. This could determine the group of death or a free pass.
The first out of Seed 1 joining Group A is...
It's going to be a representative for the Philippines. Team Liquid will be joining Group A.
And the cavalry goes wild. They took the M6 World Championships champions all the way, the distance. They played 7 games in the Season 15 finals of MPL Philippines, and here they are now.
They will be facing up against Ultra Legends. We have it on screen for you guys. Keep in mind, we are following this exact order unless the regions collide. That being said, Ultra Legends have a tough challenger up ahead. I mean, the GOAT, the young GOAT is part of that squad.
The Filipino sniper. All of them, actually, all-stars.
I can't count them out. I really can't. One of my favorite organizations, one of my favorite teams as well in the MLBB space. But it's time to draw another squad from Seed 1, going over into Group B to meet up against Team Flash.
So already one Filipino representative on the board. Who could we be seeing now? An Indonesian, a Malaysian, a Burmese, or maybe the finest from ECA.
It is going to be a Malaysian representative. Homeboys will be going.
Last seen in the MPL MY Grand Finals. Gideon, how are you feeling about Homeboys dropping into Group B?
I think that this is necessary. I think this has been a rivalry for the ages here. And for the most part...
It's an old school rivalry!
It's an old school rivalry. They always got to start off hot. Look, I'm happy for the boys, of course, but this is not going to be easy. Group B is starting to look a little more interesting. However, it is just a runner-up. No worries about it. We still have plenty more teams to draw here. So, RJ, please shuffle it up. Give us something good here for Group A.
Because you got to beat that Group B opener, man. Group B has the MYSG rivalry starting off. What else does Group A have in store?
And it looks like, I see the colors, it is an Indonesian representative joining Group A. It is Onyx Indonesia, better known as the Sky Kings.
They take to the skies and land in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, only to face off against Sharks amongst the desert. Their first matchup will be against the Kamai CFU Gaming.
This is going to be interesting, right? This is really going to be a true test for CFU to see whether they have grown enough to overcome the overwhelming odds. Favored and also winners of previous MSCs, they've got international titles underneath their belt.
They're making a run for it here in the EWC, man. They're sending so many different teams across so many different tournaments, and this is but one of those marquee events that they would love to win. Again, it's been a while since we've seen Onyx Indonesia in the realm of MLBB soar and take the skies.
So that's two big names already in Group A. Who will be joining Group B as we do our next draw from Seed 1? What could it be possibly? We still have representatives from Malaysia and as well as the EECA alongside, wait, hold on, I'm seeing a little color there.
Is it the Burmese?
From EECA, who will be joining Group B, it is Team Spirit.
The EECA, through the years, for the better part of 24 months, have proven themselves to be amongst the best. Top 3 in M5, deep top 4 in M6, and now in MSC, they're going up against Jianfen Yaoguai in the opener.
Now, I mean, their brothers in Virtus.pro has already taken a big win against the region. And now we're going to see it one more time, this time with the very best from each side.
ECA and China rivalry brewing?
I don't know, dude, but it's looking good. Group B is already looking hella entertaining, but we now only have 4 teams left. 4 teams to determine how this group is going to play out. Big names already in Group A. Group B is shaping up to be, maybe just a little bit easier until we draw. Let's find out whether or not who is going to be joining the likes of Group A. We still have a couple more options here. I am looking out for 2 in particular.
One of the 2 might be what RJ opens up. Joining Group A is...
Joining Group A, it is going to be the Selangor Red Giants OG eSports.
The defending champions of the mid-season cup. They went 7 games against the would-be champions in Falcons AP Bren, if not just for that momentous eve. The eve in the hands of few might have cost them everything, but that is how we got to know the Sky Prince, Sekais, and of course their team leader, Cram. They're facing off against
Virtus.pro.
From the wild card into facing the champions?
Look, that's just how the wild cards have always been so difficult on these teams. I don't know why. These group draws, that's why, have always been detrimental, so momentous, so important for the likelihood for these teams to make it all the way to the end. But with that said, that leaves us with 3 teams left. This time, they're going to go to Group B. Let's find out.
The climb of all climbs for Virtus.pro. What does Group B have to rival that? How can you make Group B even more entertaining? Because that's what they're going for.
I don't know. Group A is already looking so stacked, but hopefully one of these big teams will even out that score to maybe balance out the power levels and maybe bring out the hopes. It is going to be RRQ representatives from Indonesia.
There's a saying that goes, wherever RRQ plays is home ground. And I do not doubt that the Kingdom will be coming in droves here to support RRQ in their opening bout as they face off against Area 77 of North America.
Oh my goodness, we were talking about balancing the power, and it looks like it is coming true. Group B now escalates even more, but now we only have 2 teams left. Everybody's thinking about it. Where are they going to go?
By deduction, we know that it's Onyx Philippines and Mythic Seals in there. Who goes first? Who goes into Group A?
Group A is looking very dangerous right now. Good luck to either one of these teams. Let us make the draw. Oh man, I'm sweating here. My hands are getting really sticky.
I've been struggling to hold on to this mic. What more, RJ?
Here we go. He cracks the second last team to join Group A. And it looks to be Onyx PH has been drawn. Now, Onyx PH technically should be moved over to Group B because Team Liquid ID was selected for Group A. This does mean that Group B it'll be really interesting because they're going to be facing off against Aurora Gaming in Group B itself.
So to preserve cultural diversity amongst the groups, they do find themselves now in Group B, confirmed. And they also avoid the double Onyx bracket.
Yep. This is a little, I'm not going to lie, a little unfortunate, but at the same time, this is just how the draw has to go. You just got to keep on winning to make it to the very end here. Not only for home country, but also for club points.
Group B, all the more made competitive. The grand finalists of both MPLID and MPLPH find themselves there.
This is crazy. I don't know. This draw is already, my knees are getting weak. Oh boy, we need to know our very last team. We already know by the odds. It does mean that Group A is looking extremely stacked. For the pleasantries, please RJ, crack it open.
Now for those of y'all wondering,
it is going to be Mythic Seals, representatives all the way from Myanmar, going into Group A.
powerhouses representing the Burmese, the only other country to face the Philippines in the grand finals of the M Series alongside the Indonesians. They'll be opening up the group stage, facing off against Corinthians eSports. So Myanmar versus Latam.
This is interesting. We're getting to see matches that we don't usually get to see at the very beginning at the least. Usually we're expecting them later down the line. This time round, right from the get-go.
What a treat. I do not know where to start. This just ensures that all of MSC's group stage is going to be a must-watch. And again, the fact that these teams each have 2 lives to make it to the knockouts means there could be the climb of all climbs. Besides just the wild card, besides just teams hoping to make it far, we might definitely make new stars.
New stars are going to be born here during the mid-season cup. This has been quite the draw. Obviously, not as chaotic as the previous years, but definitely one to remember. 2025 is going to be crazy here at the